90-Day Fiancé. Meet Pattiya and her much younger plumber, stripper BF Dylan. Exclusive clip. Hello friends, L and Wordly Wise, welcome to my channel. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press bell icon. Extra has an exclusive sneak peek from 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way. In the clip, we meet Dylan, a plumber, stripper from Tasmania, and Pattiya, an exotic dancer from Texas. He explains, "I started stripping and the phone started ringing. A few years later, Australia's Got Talent came to town. And I ended up actually making it all the way to the grand finale of that show. And then suddenly, I'm Thunder from Down Under, MC in Las Vegas, and that's when I met Pattiya." She adds, "I moved to Las Vegas because my love life was a mess. I was married twice. I was separating from my husband and I was not looking for love. One night, I was working and Dylan came in." He recalls, "I looked up on a podium and she just looked beautiful. We just started talking and then I was just really smitten with her." Pattiya, holding her breasts, jokes, "He fell for these right away. It was love at first boob sight. They're finally ready to build a life together in Tasmania after more than a decade of on and off long distance love." But with a 20-year age gap between Pattiya and her younger Aussie BF, they face more than just cultural differences. 90-Day Fiancé. The Other Way airs Mondays at 8 p.m. ET/PT on TLC. Hilaria Baldwin tearfully shares gratitude after dance elimination. Exclusive. Hilaria Baldwin and Gleb Savchenko spoke to Extra after they were eliminated from Dancing with the Stars on Disney Night. "I'm grateful," Hilaria tearfully shared. "I live my life with gratitude every day. You can never take one day for granted. And this experience has been so wonderful. And I will only look back at it with love, and I'm only crying because it's been so wonderful and I'm sad to go. What's next? Maybe some rest." Gleb suggested to Hilaria, "You'll get a glass of wine. You'll get a massage. You sleep in." And this isn't the end for Hilaria and Gleb's friendship. He joked it's the start of a whole new career for him. "We'll shoot some TikToks with Alec. I'll teach him how to dance. He'll put me in his movie. That's going to be the start of my acting career. We'll shoot a dance movie. He'll be our teacher in the dance movie, and we'll be his students." Meanwhile, Extras, Derek Huff, a judge on DWTS, gave us his take on the night's performances. Watch. Charlie Hunnam was terrified to play Ed Gain. Seemed impossible. Exclusive. Charlie Hunnam sat down with Extra to talk Monster, the Ed Gain story, which is taking Netflix by storm. Season 3 of Ryan Murphy's biographical crime drama anthology series focuses on convicted murderer, grave robber, and suspected serial killer Ed Gain, who inspired Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho and Tobe Hooper's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Charlie said of taking the part, "I've never really been that interested in horror. And on the surface, this wouldn't seem like a character that I'd be interested in playing, frankly. But I really recognize the enormous challenge of it. And as I get older, I just want to do better and better work, and I want to be really engaged by trying to do hard things in my life. And I thought this character seemed impossible for me to be able to play, and I was terrified, and I thought, all right, well, that's a pretty good place to start." He also spoke about wanting to understand Gain, and wanting the audience to take something useful from the portrayal. Hunnam said the most challenging part was understanding him and figuring out a way to make it a human being and not just a parody of evil. The actor went on, "I do believe the storytelling has an important function that it reflects back to us certain truths that are confusing about the human condition, and we can learn a little something about ourselves, and, unfortunately, evil and darkness exists in the world. And so, I wanted this to be an honest portrayal of how a human being can become monster." Charlie looked for relatable elements of him that we can sort of demonstrate to the audience, so you can feel like, I understand this person. I know this person. So then when we get into the stuff that's not relatable at all, it can be kind of shocking, but you can somehow understand how it happened in maybe like a cautionary type of tale. Hunnam said, "This was about abuse that had never been healed, and it was about isolation and the consequence of that, and it was about mental health being untreated." On a lighter note, he reacted to Dakota Johnson giving him a hard time about dropping out of 50 Shades of Grey years ago. He shared, "I try not to live with any regrets. And that was a very personal and difficult decision to make. And I felt ultimately like I didn't torture myself by ever going and watching the movies. So, I don't really have any opinion about them, but I got to say I have some regrets in my career of things that I turned down. I look back and go, oh, boy, that was a mistake. Monster. The Ed Gein story is streaming now on Netflix.